In this lesson, you will create a function to begin detecting barcode segments. Let's start with the program we saved from the last lesson. As of now, our program does not have any code other than the array of letters. We need to program the robot to drive over black and white segments on a challenge area, and then store the data from those segments in a variable. In order to detect the black and white segments, we'll use the color sensor. Since the robot will need to detect segments multiple times, let's create a function to maximize our behavior's reusability. Between the letters array and task main, add the following. Void, detect lines, open and close parentheses, then open and close curly braces. Great, we've added the core structure for our function. To have the robot detect whether the first segment of the barcode is black or white, the robot needs to move forward from the starting point to the first segment. Previously, you've had the robot move forward until a line was detected. However, we also need to detect locations where dark lines may not exist. So that means we can't use our forward until dark behavior. For the barcode challenge, the robot will need to move forward a fixed distance between each segment to detect if it is light or dark. Measure the distance between the lines and determine how far your robot needs to travel to each segment. Remember when measuring and calculating that the robot's color sensor needs to be above each segment, not the wheels of your robot. Inside of the detect lines function, add a forward function for the number of wheel degrees that your robot will need to travel. Once the robot arrives at the first barcode segment, the robot should detect if there is a dark or light segment and store the result. To detect the segment, we can use the grayscale mode of the VEX IQ color sensor. After the forward command, add if, parentheses, get color grayscale, parentheses, color detector, close parentheses, less than symbol, 155, close parentheses, then a set of curly braces. This if condition is true if the robot detects a dark line segment. We can add an else branch for when the condition is false, meaning the robot is above white. Add else and another set of curly braces. This structure will allow the robot to make a decision and then perform two different actions. One if a dark line is seen, and another action if a dark line is not seen. The value of 155 in our condition is the threshold value between the light and dark readings from the color sensor. Finally, we need to store the data from the segment. Since we only care whether the segment was light or dark, we can use a Boolean variable, a variable that only stores a true or false value to store the condition of the line. Add the following code. Above the letters array, add bool, line marker, semicolon. Inside of the if block, add line marker equals true, semicolon. Inside of the else block, add line marker equals false, semicolon. This code stores the condition of the segment. If the segment is dark, the line marker variable is set equal to true. If the segment is light, the line marker variable is set equal to false. Finally, your robot won't actually run this function unless we call it in task main. Add detect lines, open and close parentheses, semicolon. Save the updated program, and then download it to the robot, but keep your robot connected to the computer. Once downloaded, place the robot at the starting point of your barcode testbed, and press the Start button on the Program Debug window. The robot should move forward and stop with the color sensor over the first segment. Notice in the Global Variables window that the contents of the line marker variable will display true or false depending on the line segment. So far, we've only stored one segment worth of data. Move on to the next lesson to learn how to record all 5 segments in a quick and efficient manner.